AV SuperFriends on Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends, LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com. This is AV SuperFriends on Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. For July 2025, it's the best-sounding podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends on Topic, episode number 60. That's 5 years of this nonsense.
That's crazy.
Sorry about that, everybody. We apologize for the 5 years of nonsense.
That's out of this world. I was asked that question over during info.
What, how long we've been doing this?
They go, how many episodes do you guys have? I'm like, well, total, 200. What? How long have you been doing this? 4 or 5. And then just as it comes out of your mouth, you're like, 4 or 5 years. Holy crap.
Yeah.
It happens. Anyway, let's do another one. Broadcasting live from Sea to Shining Sea for our Independence Day special. We're coming to you from the wide open skies of the Mountain West to the smoky heartland where the grills burn hotter than the takes, from the rolling hills of Bourbon Country to the red clay roots of the old North State. It's a coast-to-coast celebration of freedom, independence, signal flow, and questionable audio routing. And while everyone else is waving their flags and forgetting to unmute, I'm the goon who gets left running the stream, firing the effects, syncing the mics, and keeping the show from declaring full-on AV chaos. I'm your patriot with the presets. I'm Chris Decter. It's time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure. So fire up your sparklers, settle into your hammock, prepare for the worst Independence Day special you've ever heard. Stars, stripes, and signal paths included in this. All right, well, let's say hello to today's panel of AV Superfriends. I'm joined by the coordinator of constitutionally protected signal integrity from Kansas City, Mr. Jamie Reinhart. Whoops.
Whoa.
I hit the wrong button there. Sorry.
The best tin cans and a ball of string can get you.
Also joined by the Senior Manager for Patriot Enablement Solutions from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Mr. Larry Darling.
I'm a senior manager. That's kind of cool this time. I'm getting into Justin's range.
Not quite. Maybe. And finally joined by our Vice President of Strategic Fireworks Alignment from Bowling Green, Kentucky, Mr. Justin Rexing. He's left. He's just muted there. Just leaving it on mute.
Yeah, I'm still muted.
The intro, and he still mutes.
I muted the intro for the first time in a while, and I forgot to turn it back off. But yeah, you don't want me doing that job.
No.
I'm surprised I still have 2 eyes and 10 fingers. There's been some close calls with fireworks in recent history.
Get prepared for a few more, because that's all we're doing today. So on today's show, we're going to celebrate America by blowing up a small part of it.
Boom.
And things that we don't like anymore. So
Can we say that?
I think
I
so.
just did. What can't we say?
Blowing up what? Blowing up a small part of America?
Just little bits.
Well, if anyone's worried, Chris said it, not us. So
It's Wyoming. They'll allow you to do it.
yeah.
Well, it is Wyoming.
It's America. What are they going to do? Not let you blow up stuff?
America. Blow shit up.
So basically, this is our Independence Day special. The way we do this every year for July is we all pick a couple of things or a thing that we don't like about commercial higher education, AV, and IT stuff, and we blow it up with lots of fireworks and explosions. So we've got lots of things ready to go. It'll be fun, and the fire department has been notified. But first, before we do any of that stuff, if you were listening to this as a recorded MP3 later, we do stream live on Fridays at about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, or whenever we get our act together and actually start going. Today was a long discussion about braces. So yes. You can join us for that live on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Bluestream whenever they get off their butts and actually support streaming. If you can't join us live, we still want you to connect with us on those same socials. So follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Blue Sky, etc. Just search for AV Superfriends. You will find us. We use the logo there and all that fun stuff. So please don't forget to spread the word. Share this podcast with your friends, colleagues, enemies, perfect strangers, and anyone else who might enjoy it. If you could interrupt your 4th of July barbecue this year to force people to all go subscribe before you start doling out the first hamburger, hot dog, bratwurst, whatever it may be, that would be fantastic.
The grill does not start until we get
No, the grill starts.
new But just
But
no
we
food?
We don't open that grill.
Okay.
The longer we
So
wait,
food-
the more stuff's burning.
I say we put things on it and just make everything well done until they
well
subscribe.
done.
If you don't subscribe, you're getting charcoal briquettes.
Yes.
If you do like to support the show, please consider donating. Your contributions help to keep us bringing you the honest content that you love or that you love to hate. You can find the donation link for that in the show notes of this episode or on the website or all over the place. We do want to hear from you, so please reach out on the social medias or via email, mailbag at avsuperfriends.com for topic suggestions, or if you want to yell at us about something, please do that. And finally, when you are listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, CurioCast, I don't know where the heck people are getting this stuff. Whatever podcast app you're using, please rate and review us. The rating bumps us up in the algos and forces more people to be exposed to our nonsense.
Can we rate ourselves?
You can, but that's a kind of a gauche thing to do. So at least come up with a fake username.
Okay.
So, well, you can. That's. So anyway, thanks for your support. We couldn't do the show without you. Now we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. Then we're gonna blow up some stuff. Because where'd it go? Here it is. Here's another event we're doing in a few weeks.
Get ready to plug in and rock out at Widget Fest, the ultimate celebration of audiovisual innovation. For 3 electrifying days, the biggest names in commercial presentation electronics take the stage and showcase the latest and greatest in adapters and widgets. Widget Fest! Experience cutting-edge tech, hands-on demos, and exclusive product launches all in one place. Connect with fellow enthusiasts, enjoy great food, and be part of the future of AV technology. Widget Fest! Tickets are selling fast, so don't miss out. Widget Fest, the ultimate celebration of adapters and widgets, coming soon to a venue near you. Widget Fest! Widget Fest!
I actually kind of want to go to that show.
We just got
Fest is
back
great.
from Widget Fest. We just literally left
Infocom.
Widget Fest last week.
Infocom this year was really Widget Fest. Like, some
Exactly.
of the best stuff was little widgets that we found.
Everyone went to big booths looking for a big thing. It wasn't there. It was the little booths in the middle that had interesting little widgets, adapters, middleware, whatever
you would
wanna call
know
that stuff.
if you were on our tour.
You would. Or if you didn't go to pay to play stuff. Anyway, so here's how the show works for our 4th of July special. We've all gathered a list of things that we would like to celebrate America by blowing up, because we're going to set off a whole bunch of fireworks and explosions and all sorts of fun things like with that. So we've gathered up our AV and IT related things, and we're going to wrap that in explosives and blow that up. That pretty much it, I think.
I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our usual thing. Yep.
So, Justin, you want to start?
Yes.
What are we blowing
Okay.
up?
So, Justin,
A lot of this is going
What-
to be repetitive. I tried to be unique, but I just
hold
I
on a
just
second
can't.
here. So we've got a stack of 200 bottle rockets. We jammed those into a 5-gallon bucket. We zip tied it to the wagon. We're calling this Project Liberty Launch Pad. Go for it.
So I guess my number one, not a big surprise, is if you are a consultant and you draw lines from Dante to AVB and put in DMPS systems everywhere and wireless presentation in every classroom, you get shot to the moon
Shot to the moon?
with a big firework.
Oh, I see.
Like
So
Elon type firework.
this
I just
one
took my last DMPS system off campus today.
I still have NPS 100s, but
Really?
that's more of a me problem.
I have a few left. In fact, I have a few DMPSs left from when Chris was servicing them.
Yeah, they
They're
work.
workhorses. Yeah.
yeah,
they-
they were great. Like back in the day,
They
I
also
loved them.
cost way too much now to
Yeah.
do way too much than what you need. And then I have AI cameras on there.
Hey. You can't just
Oh,
start
that's on
rattling off
yours?
stuff.
What?
No, you're just... we're taking turns here, sir.
Oh, I have 3 on my list. I thought I'd go all 3 and then move on to someone else.
That's not how this works.
Okay.
We're just going to keep round robining until we blow everything up.
All right. Who's next? Sorry.
Rattle stuff off here. All right, Larry, why don't you get ready here? We got that propane tank off the grill. I've wrapped it in sparklers. I placed it inside a wheelbarrow full of expired Roman candles. This is science meets freedom.
Okay, I'm going to get this one out of the way first because I'm sure other people have it, and I just want to steal your all's thunder. After coming back from Infocom, I saw a lot of solutions that made very basic classrooms more complicated. Like if you bought into this ecosystem, you had to be cloud-based or you had to have it on the enterprise network. Like just for a tier 1 or 0 classroom that I used to be able to do really simply, really cheap, all of a sudden there's extra hurdles I have to jump through. And I'm kind of tired of everything, all the basic systems out there requiring me to get cloud access and to get everything on the enterprise networks. Sometimes I don't need to do that, and I'm tired of having my options limited by the solutions, assuming everything is going to be the top tier rooms that might require that.
I'm not sure what you're blowing up here. What are you blowing up?
I'm blowing up those devices that are cloud-based for control, or the AV over IP systems that have to have a director or a navigator or something out there.
I got you.
Yeah, like we have simplified our very standard, very basic classrooms up to small auditoriums to be very cheap and like there's not a lot of extra frills, and all of a sudden ecosystems are pushing us in this direction. So that's what I'm blowing up.
So the extra stuff you need to do what you used to be able to do 3 years ago without a problem.
Exactly. Anything that's forcing me to go cloud-based on a standard system is being blown up.
All right. Well, let me light this candle over here.
Oh,
That was a pretty good one. All right, Jamie, we just spent 4 hours wiring up a car battery to a pile of old mortars in an abandoned mailbox. So this better be good.
it's not.
Oh.
Larry stole some of my thunder. This past year, I've had 2 different companies, 2 different manufacturers, send me a test unit, a demo unit of a product. It was a keypad for one of them. It required, without a doubt, required cloud access
For a button panel?
to use the button panel. And
was the cloud access the only way it interfaced with other devices, or was just like you had to log in before you could even set it up?
To even turn it on. And they assured me, they're like, oh no, you can put it into local only mode as long as you can access the cloud. And they went so far as to, so they're like, okay, so if it can't access the cloud, how do you use it? Well, you can plug it into your laptop and then use your laptop as a bridge so that it can get cloud access through the bridging of your laptop to it.
It sounds
And I
complicated, and you're not solving any problems.
No, yes, it's kind of what Larry said, but I find that there are several companies out there right now that are just like, they're so in on the cloud game that to require it to even turn the device on, I'm done with it. Like we need to be able to use these things prior to cloud. I'm okay with some cloud things, but man, the requirement to even turn it on, give me a break. I'm not buying it anymore.
Well, and there's environments where you're not even there's going to be no option for any sort of access like that. So
yeah, and the answer from them when you start pushing back a little bit, it's like, well, just use your cell signal. Just use your cell phone and use your data plan off your cell signal in order to.
Can
get
you
cloud
imagine
access
telling
to
one
the
of your
thing.
techs that?
I'm like,
Going,
no, this is not acceptable.
I don't know why people are making this stuff. Like, what triggers them? Because they're talking to people, and people are saying we need more cloud stuff, and they just go make a bunch of cloud
I
shit.
think I think a lot
how
of it
does
is there's a desire to be able to monitor everything. But
That's
there's also a
different than.
well, no. But the easiest way to do that is to say we're going to stand up a portal and you connect to it. So
Yeah.
We want to monitor it ourselves with our own system. We
and then
don't
they can
need-
monetize that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's
I
not going to
just-
happen.
I feel like you should be able, especially with a keypad, you should be able to stand it up without it accessing an online portal.
Yeah.
That's just me. Now, once I get it activated and all happy, fine. If I want a portal, let's get a portal. But to
But if
require
not,
the
then it
portal
should.
to even start, then it's a waste of my money.
It should operate in both modes, local and.
Well, yeah, it does, Justin. Don't worry about it. But to put it in the local only, you got to get on the portal.
That's not. It's not really the same thing.
all right,
how
well
that
let's roll that out there and blow this stuff up here.
That was kind of. It started off small, but
Well,
I'm
And
not
it's
going out
Chris and
and
I were
triggering
very
this stuff.
similar, so we blew them up.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! I just realized this entire track has been muted the whole time. Hold on,
oh, we have.
Oh,
I can
music?
start it over.
We have.
Oh,
There we go. Sorry
Oh,
about that.
there we go.
I was supposed to be running the whole time, but it was muted. My bad.
All right, so Chris,
Let me dial that.
give
back
us
down.
something more than cloud
Yeah,
based.
back it down
Yes.
a little bit there. There you go.
Something more than cloud-based. All right. So I went out. I disassembled 3 commercial-grade fireworks. I extracted the best stuff. I repackaged them into a kiddie pool line with aluminum foil and Manifest Destiny. And into that pool, I'm going to put in software license fees. And I'm going to fill the pool with software license fees, especially things tied to hardware, because why do I need this? Why should there be recurring fees of any sort? I'm buying this device, I'm buying this stuff, and especially in higher ed, we might get that budget for that project once every 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years. So this is not a tenable thing, and this is a big turnoff to a lot of people. Many manufacturers are doing it. Some have dialed it back slightly, but only because of huge market pushback, but they're continuing with other stuff. So this is nonsense. To everyone listening right now, please knock it off. Or if you have to have a license, for whatever weird accounting reason you want to do it, it needs to be a perpetual license. And by perpetual, I don't mean 5 years. I don't mean 7 years. I mean forever in the sense of the Sandlot. And it should be tied to the hardware itself and just run until the hardware explodes and dies. So please stop with these like, it's a 3-year thing to do that. No, not going to happen. Because in higher ed, if I take something out of a room, chances are that doesn't leave my campus. That gets repurposed somewhere else. So I need that thing to keep operating, not go do magical other stuff by buying more licenses. So, all right, let me blow this stuff here. This one. Pretty good. All righty. Okay, Justin. Now back around to you. What do you got for round 2?
Well, I'm going to skip AI cameras because I slid that in.
What's wrong with
So-
AI cameras?
They're not AI. It's just like, stop. Okay. Anyways. How about large oversized DSPs with like 75 inputs and 52 outputs of analog?
You're going to blow those up?
It just like, we need to be not doing those much more. Like, who has a need for 12 analog inputs besides, I don't know, performance theater?
Like going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because even if you have 5, 6, like Dante's there, AS67's there, there's a lot of widgets and Gazmos to combine that down to a single Cat 6. It's like, why do you... I can understand modular DSPs that, let's add a couple analog inputs because that makes a lot of sense, but not 12 or 18 or 24. I don't need 8 outputs. I don't know the last time I used an analog output.
How
All
do
the
you get
amps that
audio
we
to
buy
an
are Dante.
amplifier?
They're all Dante enabled. It's just
So
what
somebody
you
said
buy.
for little analog amps, something you said for them. I don't disagree
I'll
with you as
use
far as
them.
the amount of I/O. I think those devices have their places. I think companies who make big DSP boxes put too much stock into how important those are and are listening to the wrong people who keep saying they need 15, 20, 25, whatever, card slots, all that stuff. Yes, we all have specialized cases where that is needed. But if this is part of your standard, I'm just,
That's my only option.
Well,
Like,
Larry,
that's
to your
not-
earlier comment about like, I'm starting with the giant box and then I'm putting a DS. It's like, stop, rethink what you're doing. Make it simple.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
blow that up?
just blow it up.
All right.
We may regret it, but I could solve the problem with smaller DSPs and widgets just fine.
And the network.
And network stuff. Yeah. That'd be fine. I'm converting audio output at the projector into Dante now.
You have a
Instead
Dante
of just
enabled.
running it analog.
You're
Yeah.
missing a step there.
Audio out of the projector.
What?
Which
Dante.
comes out analog though.
Uh-huh.
And then what's the magical device?
What, for summing or for Dante?
You're saying you're going from projector to Dante, and there's a step in there that has to happen. So I'm curious, what
Yeah.
are you using?
Well, we're actually experimenting. So we've been using RDL. RDL is really noisy. And then we're going to try Turtle and a few other widgets. So if you're using RDL Dante stuff, especially on mic level, be very careful. It adds a bunch of noise.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. We
Why are
found
you
out the
running
hard
mic
way.
level out of a projector?
No, well, not in that case, but in other cases. Like line level, it's not as...
Well, if you
You
turn
can't
the
hear it as
projector
well?
all the way down to like 1,
Not in that case. Like if I stick my two mics somewhere and I'm like, all right, I don't really, let's just buy a widget to convert both channels. If you buy an RDL one, be careful.
I'm just trying to work out why you're using the projector for de-embedding.
Because
I
I
do that
don't
all the
have
time.
anything else there. Yeah, I do it all the time. No
Well, then
DSP.
why not just stick a little amp up there at the projector and
I do that all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
because now you're getting into like the mount and how does that amp fit on there? I need a bigger amp, so now I don't have the
little
space
tiny
and I can't
Ceiling
put it above
box.
ceiling.
Ceiling box.
Ceiling box is
Oh.
too expensive for us because that
Blow
requires
that up.
contractors,
but you
et
can
cetera,
buy the
et cetera,
widget
et
to
cetera.
convert it to Dante.
If I already had something there, yeah, like it's usually like a lectern or a rack already.
Here's the
there.
other thing that I find projector audio de-embedding great for is assisted listening systems, which need to be up
Yeah.
in the ceiling, and you're already up there, and you already have power, you already have connectivity and signal, so why
Yep.
not? So,
Yep.
and you know what else that de-embed off the back of a projector is doing in most cases? Nothing. So,
You know what I've noticed though? Anything, I need to check all manufacturers, but anything above 6,000 lumen have stopped putting those things on there, and that caught me off guard. I was like, when did that happen? I was like, that I'm supposed to shit. And then
so I was going to
Yeah.
say I've not seen that at lower ones. I've seen those in big dog projectors, where they
Big, like
cost more,
8,000,
but they take all the
7,000.
features off.
7,000,
Well, I'm talking like
8,000
10
lumens
plus.
and up doesn't have audio de-embedding on them anymore. I'm like,
They also
oh,
don't have
so
any
be careful
inputs
with
on it
that.
anymore either. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've noticed some projectors now don't have speakers in them. Finally, so
Well,
if I'm
that's
spending
good.
$4,000 on a projector, I don't need a $3 speaker in.
That does sometimes help for troubleshooting. Sometimes.
Or cause the problems that require
Yeah,
you to
that's
troubleshoot.
more problematic than solving a problem. But I've used it for troubleshooting. I'm like, why am I not getting audio? It's like, oh, it's getting here. Why am I not hearing it? You know.
I don't understand.
All right.
You don't understand me? My what?
see.
My, which part?
Who went second? Larry, were you second last time around?
I went second last
Okay,
time.
so
Moving on.
Larry, we've got this. We rigged a washing machine drum with time bottle rocket dispensers, and we've got that propped up on 4 car jacks. That's ready to go. So
4 car jacks.
wow, that sounds
don't
very
mess with my
specific.
redneck engineering here.
Nice.
How do you build explosive devices?
Tannerite. We're in Kentucky.
Haven't gotten there yet. So
Oh.
that's a brand name, sir, and they are not a sponsor.
So
They
part
won't.
of
Yet.
my
Yet.
Reach out to us, Tannerite.
So part of my classroom replacement cycle this summer involves a couple of active learning rooms that were designed before I got here.
Oh, by people who
And-
don't understand active learning rooms.
Well, I've seen this at our university. I've seen this at other universities. There was this phase where everybody was pushing out active learning rooms, and I love active learning rooms, but I love them when they're done right with everybody at the table who needs to be at the table, and ours weren't. I mean, just straight up, the ones we're refreshing right now, when they were installed, it didn't seem like everyone who should have a voice did. And I've seen this at other schools I've worked at, and I hear this every time we're at a conference. So if you're doing an active learning room and you don't have space management, the registrar, instructional designers assigned to the project, and also a detailed plan to support the faculty after the fact, you should just blow it up. Like, just immediately fill it with the terminite or whatever it is in Kentucky.
Terminite?
Termites?
And blow
We have
the thing
those.
up.
We got termites too.
All right. Well, I don't disagree with you, Larry. I've got an active learning room that we're building now. We're doing it with the right people, but they keep trying to exclude certain parties from that. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's more of like, well, why do you need to be on part of this conversation? And then you saw, well, you guys saw I was sharing internally, kind of like what sort of nonsense came out of this consultant. So, and it was not technology. It was like just from like the general space planning, layout, furniture. It can go go sideways very quickly, very fast. So yes.
And I think everybody needs to be at the table, because if everyone isn't there, then the needs of any one particular group becomes elevated. Like the registrar needs a certain amount of seats in the room, which goes against the instructional designer requirement for square footage per student. Like, you need everybody there to get all the voices.
What number are you, by the way, just out of curiosity, what number are you using for square footage per student in an active learning with flexible seating environment?
400.
6.
400.
6.
6.
Is that the right answer?
Larry needs an Amazon warehouse for every one of his
Exactly.
classrooms.
I was guessing, is it 7?
I've been using 25, but I don't know.
I've been pushing for 24, because right now we don't even have that.
Oh,
So-
man.
Yeah.
How about 2?
2.
Is that
You understand
the right
what a
answer?
square foot is, right?
Square yard?
No.
Can we do it in yards?
No.
We're going to do it in hectares. It's only in hectares. All right. Well, let me blow up bad active learning design, not including the right people at the table. All righty. So, Jamie, we've got this old satellite dish over here. We welded that to the back of a lawnmower. We filled that with
C-band?
Of course.
It's
Filled
gotta
it,
be-
we filled
gotta
it with
be
old
big.
artillery shells, and we're calling this the Freedom Catapult. So, fire away.
Devices that require a software base that is not built around the user access level of the computer,
Ooh.
right?
It works fine on our test bench, but not in actual
If
production.
you have to right click and say run as an admin, then it was built wrong. And I find this is happening on like user level devices. We're looking at you, Logitech, Elgato, where you can't run some of their things on a user level on a managed system. They have to have admin privileges, which aren't given away. And then like the fact that they're dumbfounded when you bring this up, like I can't use NDI tools on a standard PC because it has to run on an administrative level that is not given to anybody. Oh, well, why would you do that? What?
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah.
So if it is sold through B&H or CDW or Amazon, then maybe write your software in such a way that the standard user can use it. Ideally, it's whatever default driver is out there. I don't know why we have to get too far away from the default drivers for video and audio. I don't get it. But we always have to throw some stupid wrinkle in there that says that you need to be able to do this. I've even had issues with sound bars from some of the bigger manufacturers. Oh, that's great. Well, it will show as a thing, but you have to download this driver and this software
Yep.
in order to make it work. Wireless share devices. You can't use it unless you have our app. Oh, come on. Come on. Help us out.
And so help me, to piggyback on that. So help me, if your device requires I use a smartphone or a tablet to enable features on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting boxed up and shipped back to you in pieces. I found it that way.
Yeah, it showed up this way. I don't know.
That's how I got it. All right. Well, let's blow up non-enterprise friendly PC software applications.
Do it.
This. All right. Let's see. Well,
We
I'll
need
do
the
one.
big one.
One last
Big
one
one?
here, and then we'll do our grand finale. So I'm going to, and I thought Jamie had stolen mine, but he went a slightly different direction. So I'm going to kind of be a similar topic here. So I've stacked a pallet of firewood into kind of a crude obelisk shape. I threw a Bluetooth speaker in there that's on a constant loop playing Hulk Hogan's Real American, and I'm lighting it using a magnifying glass. So this has been cooking for a while here. So, and if you need a reminder of that, it's. Does anyone remember that song?
I'm gonna
I
run
do,
through a wall
actually,
now.
Yes.
I got
All right.
goosebumps.
So this is so I'm, like I said, similar to Jamie's, but not exactly. This is devices that require a software application on the PC at all to use features on that. And as part of it, the biggest concern I have with that is even if it's enterprise friendly and you can package it and deploy it and it's runs at the user level and all that stuff, and if you get past all of that, it's the software updates that are making hardware worse. So things that were much better 2 or 3 years ago, and they have added new features to the little software helper application, which I already hate for all the reasons Jamie just described. I hate that I have to have a little software helper app. But even if I get beyond that and I get one that does work in my enterprise environment at the user level and it's invisible to users, it just has to be there. But it's the software updates that make the hardware perform worse, thus taking the thing, as we described earlier, we're buying something to go into a room, it's going to be there for 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years until it physically fails. But if it now has a helper app doing some of the processing on the computer, and that app is either reducing performance, it's removing features, things are just in general not working as well as it used to, that's terrible. Please stop doing that. And for many of you who have, many of the manufacturers out there who have little helper apps, you're all guilty of this. Some of these that used to be like, until about 2 years ago, this was my default auto framing camera company, and you know who you are. I don't buy a single one of your devices anymore because of your software, not your hardware. Mm-hmm. So your software team has ruined your hardware, and you're off the list. So, all right, let me blow that up real quick.
Blow up the bloatware.
All right.
I feel like somebody needs to be on an Apple device right now and like doing the hand signal to make fireworks go off while the sound's happening.
Where is it?
Can we do that? That would be cool. For
For
you YouTubers out there.
I am on an Apple device, and
What's
turn
the
that
hand
shit
signal
off.
for that?
Oh.
I'm Windows.
Is it this one? Yeah. Nope, that's not it.
Oh,
This one.
laser show. Oh, there,
There
it
it
is.
is.
You know how much crap I had to
that.
disable to get past that? Jeez.
Can
The
I
fact
do
that, by the way, maybe here's another similar pet peeve is the stuff I want to blow up is software features like that ship by default on that I have to go turn off.
I could do it
Oh,
too.
look at that. You figured it out.
I'm kind of jealous at this point.
Buried way down in there. Ooh, happy birthday to you, sir. So.
I don't ever use these things.
All
Yeah,
right.
turn 'em
Well,
off.
We just lost
with
Jamie.
that said, I think it's time for our to wrap up the show with the grand finale. But before we do that, any last items we missed? Anything that I know we all brought 3 or 4 different items to this? Any last thing someone really needs to get out there that we just want to say as part of higher ed, IT, and AV stuff? Please stop doing this because we're going to blow it up every year. And again, if you want to contribute, please write in with what you'd like us to blow up next year.
Listen, there's a few consultants that really didn't like what I had to say at Infocom, and they gave me the stink look. All you have to do, like, I really hate bashing consultants. I know you all are people too.
Are you
don't.
sure?
Because
I really
you do
hate
it all
it.
the time.
I know. Just pay attention to what you're doing. Slow down I know you all are overworked. Relax, calm down, and figure out what you're drawing out. And make sure it's detailed.
Make sure the
Stop.
name on the side matches the actual place.
Stop the copy and paste. It's not rocket science here. I just don't understand why there's so many mistakes with consultants.
Unless you're doing AV for NASA or something.
And then they're
Then
paid
it is.
4 or 5 times what we do, and we're the ones solving their problems, and it's just a slap in the face, knowing what they're getting for pay. It's just,
And if you find a good consultant, hang on to them
yeah,
Yes.
because they're rare.
they are rare.
They're out there.
They're
but
out
They're
there.
rare.
Yeah, they exist. It's just every one of them I've dealt with is
Sketchy.
All right. Well, while we're closing out, let me go set off every other firework we've got over here.
sorry, I went on a little bit there. Yeah. I thought it was gonna stop, and then
No, this is 27 minutes of this, so just hold on to it.
we're just gonna look at each other for
27 minutes of
27
this?
minutes.
This is your life now.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining us for our Independence Day special, where we celebrate America by blowing up a little part of it. We'll be back next month with some other topic of things that may or may not be the topic we want to talk about, and we'll just ignore that as well. So, and all that fun stuff. Cool. All right, see you guys. Thanks. Thanks for putting up with yet another episode of AV SuperFriends On Topic. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.